So we now come to the hearings panel report on the proposal to revoke legacy on-site wastewater bylaws. If I can ask McLean Grindle and Michael Sinclair to come to the table, but Councillor Sayers, I think you're introducing this on behalf of Kathy Casey.
Yes. Thank you very much, Your Worship. And this is.
Would you like to move the report to begin with?
Yes,
so we've
very
got it
happy
on.
to.
It's been moved. To be a seconder for that, Councillor Cooper.
Yeah, that's appropriate. Thank you, Your Worship. Now this is a speech that has been prepared for me, but I just want to. I do want to go through this in some detail. That the hearings panel is recommending to the governing body to revoke the 4 remaining legacy on-site wastewater bylaws for North Shore City, Papakura District Council, Rodney District Council, Auckland City, and that's Waiheke only. The Regulatory Committee completed a review of the legacy on-site wastewater bylaws in June 2018. The review found that the unitary plan combined with regulatory provisions in the Building Act and the Health Act provide all the regulations required to manage on-site wastewater systems, and the legacy bylaw provisions are no longer required. The governing body adopted a statement of proposal in July this year to revoke the bylaws, and public consultation was conducted between the 1st of August and the 31st of August this year. A hearings panel consisting of myself, Kathy Casey and Tau Tenere, I'd just like to acknowledge and thank them, reviewed all the submissions and deliberated in public in September this previous month on the proposal to revoke the bylaws. The hearings panel recommendations are that the legacy on-site wastewater bylaws are revoked as they are redundant to the unitary plan rules. The proposal introduces no rules and retains status quo. Are no cost implications associated with revoking the bylaws. The hearings panel also further recommends that staff use the opportunity when this decision is publicly notified to raise public awareness of on-site wastewater rules in the unitary plan. I'd also like to thank Councillor Casey for chairing the hearings panel, Councillor Cooper for giving up her time to attend those Have Your Say events as in her capacity as chair of the Regulatory Committee, and for the collaborative support provided by the Healthy Waters, Plans and Places and Social Policy and Bylaws teams. We also have staff here to address any questions that the councillors might have regarding the content of the bylaw proposal.
Thank you, Councillor. Now, McLean or Michael, is there anything you want to add to that introduction? Pretty straightforward, I think, but
no, thanks. Through you, Mr. Mayor, just to note the attachments to the report that you've received contain both the report from the hearings panel and also the report that was presented to the hearings panel, which summarises all of the submissions. Happy to take any questions that you have in regards to either of those documents or the decision before you today.
Great, thank you. Are there any questions on this? Are there any comments on this? If not, we'll put the resolution, which is to accept the hearings panel report, revoke the legacy bylaws, note the collaborative support and direct staff to utilise opportunities. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
To the contrary, no. Carried. We now thank you very much to officers. Thank you, Councillor Sayers, for your introduction. We come to item number 12, the role of the Audit and Risk Committee with respect to CRL. If I can ask Mark Maloney, please, to come forward. The motion is to note and endorse the role of the Audit and Risk Report. Deputy Mayor, you'd like to move that, seconded by Councillor Clow. Mark, would you like to introduce the item, please?
Thank you, Your Worship. This paper confirms the role of the Audit and Risk Committee with respect to the City Rail Link project. The genesis of this paper was the governing body resolution of 2017, which resolved the Audit and Risk Committee will receive regular reports on the City Rail Link project. The Audit and Risk Committee, in receiving those reports, has asked that I report back to them, actually unpick that resolution. What did it actually mean? I reported to the committee in September. That report went very back to first principles on what the role of an Audit and Risk Committee was. It confirmed that in the context of a significant project such as City Rail Link, the role of the Audit and Risk Committee is really to discharge its governance responsibilities from a perspective of an investor, Auckland Council being an investor in that project. So it effectively changes the lens by which the Audit and Risk Committee looks at risk. The governing body should note that the Audit and Risk Committee is receiving an investor risk assessment at its December meeting, on which it will exercise its due diligence. And by undertaking that due diligence, that can form a view on the completeness, reasonableness of the risk assessments and the mitigating strategies. And if it has any concerns, it can go back to management, the chief executive, or the governing body. The Audit and Risk Committee did ask that I bring that report back to the governing body to basically confirm that that was the governing body's understanding of how it wished the Audit and Risk Committee to exercise its responsibilities. So I'll leave the comments of that and happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Mark. Any questions around the table? It's obviously a sensible thing to do given the investment that Council is making in this project. Are there any comments on this item? Councillor Wayne Walker.
Yeah, just a quick question, really. Quite obviously, one of the risks in terms of cost overrun goes to the big tenders that are coming up. What's the timing on those tenders in respect of when we've got the numbers?
Through you, Chair, yeah, March, April next year.
Okay, any further comments? If not, I'll put the resolution. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
To the contrary, no. Carried. Mark, thank you very much. We now come